This is One-on-One. Hey to Beth Cutler, Dean of Montclair State University's College of Education and Human Services. Good to see you, Dean.
Good to see you, Steve.
I am a proud graduate of Montclair State University. And by the way, one of the finest programs we have is the College of Education and Human Services. One of the areas I want to talk to you about right away is teacher quality, right? We're struggling in this area. Is it a bigger area than ever before? Meaning, is it harder to measure quality? Is it, are teachers not as good as before? What's going on?
That's a really good question. I don't think it's that teachers aren't as good as they were before, but we have higher expectations for all of the students in our school now. There was a time when we were growing up when it was acceptable and even possible to drop out of high school and still make a living and support your family. It's not possible anymore. And we pay attention to all of the children in our schools, whether they have special needs, whether they don't speak English at home, whether they come from backgrounds of poverty, and all of them deserve a good education. So the challenges are greater.
How has teacher preparation changed?
Teacher preparation has changed a great deal in many places, including at Montclair State University, although we have a long and illustrious history of producing outstanding teachers for New Jersey schools. We've been rated in the top 20 in teacher preparation in the country by U.S. News and World Report and other organizations. There are some reasons, obviously, why we're rated so highly and we've gotten many accolades. First of all, our students learn the subject matters they're going to teach very well, very deeply. And that is a basis for the rest of their education. We don't accept people into teacher preparation when they come in as freshmen. They have to apply as juniors to teacher preparation. Then when they're in our teacher preparation program, whether at the undergraduate or the graduate level, we immerse them in the schools in what we call clinical experiences. People used to talk about practice teachers. You probably remember from your experience. That is necessary but insufficient. If a prospective teacher only spends one semester at the end of the program in a school, it really isn't adequate to then come in and take over a class on your own. We also have very close partnerships with school districts.
Give us an example.
Well, Newark.
Newark is a big piece of this, I know.
Newark is a very big piece of this. Montclair State is not an ivory tower institution.
Not at all.
We are deeply engaged in the communities that surround us.
Is that the urban residency program?
That is the newest and most exciting program we have in our partnership with the Newark Public Schools.
Talk about it.
Please, I'm happy to. The Urban Teacher Residency is modeled after a medical residency program where prospective teachers, and these are postgraduate, they already have their bachelor's degree when they enter this program. They go through a rigorous, very rigorous admissions process. They want to teach in the city of Newark, and they want to be career-long teachers. And they are very high-achieving individuals. They come into the program, they spend an entire year in the school with a talented and carefully selected mentor teacher. It's like an apprenticeship program, and at the same time they're earning a master's degree, a Master of Arts in Teaching from us. Our faculty deliver that program in the schools. They coach them in the schools. They coach the mentors. They work with the principals on school improvement, on teaching for deep learning. And it is a very, very successful program. It's funded by a $6.3 million federal grant that Montclair State got.
Department of Education?
Yes.
Sometimes
U.S. Department.
People question the Federal Department of Education. Hey, what do they do? That's a good answer, right? That's one of the things they do.
Yes, it is. It is one of the things they do. And they are actually very much engaged in thinking about what it will take to have a high-performing teacher in every classroom.
So Secretary Arnie Duncan and others engaged in this as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Is there private money here, or is it all government money?
That's a good question. The majority of the money is from the federal grant, but it requires a 100% match. So the Newark Public Schools puts up money. The residents get a living stipend. They get $26,000 for the year, and their master's degree is totally paid for. So the Newark Public Schools puts up half the stipend. The grant pays half. Montclair State puts up part of the tuition money for this program. We also have money from the Prudential Foundation that has enabled us to do certain things. There are other federal grants. We have bought digital backpacks for all of the residents that have all of the technology they need in one backpack. There is a metaphor that people often use that teacher quality is like a leaky swimming pool, that we keep pouring more teachers into the pool, and even though some don't make it, we just keep pouring more in, and there's an enormous expense to that. One statistic is that half of all teachers leave after the first 5 years on the job. There are a few reasons. One is some are ill-prepared. And
they should never have gone. I'll say this, but is this correct? That they should not have gone in the first place, or they could have made it, but something caused them not to?
It's both of those, actually. Okay. But I think the greater factor is what happens when they're on the job. There is a very sad fact that in many schools, new teachers are given the most difficult assignments, and they don't get the kind of support they need. Think about first-year law associates, supervised, clinical psychologists, social workers.
There's a lot of mentoring.
Right? A lot of mentoring.
Where's the mentoring here?
In our urban teacher residency program, there is a very extensive mentoring program for 3 years, not for 1 year, for 3 years. Right. And they have to sign a contract that they will teach in the Newark Public Schools for a minimum of 3 years. In 1 year of the urban teacher residency program at Eastside High School, the mathematics scores, because the high school program is math and science teachers, the math scores went up from 50% proficient to 64% proficient.
So you're actually seeing, from a quantitative point of view, real results.
Yes, we are. These are passionate, talented young people who are being mentored by excellent, experienced teachers and our faculty.
Question, a couple minutes we have left. What should, in your opinion, the debate, the discussion around teacher performance sound like? Because it often doesn't sound the way I'd like it to sound. Not forget about what I like it to sound. It often doesn't sound productive or constructive. What should it sound like?
Well, I think it's unproductive to make it a blame game. There are many factors that affect student achievement. The most important in-school factor is the teacher. But teachers need to feel appreciated and respected and honored in our society, and too often they're not. They also need opportunities to learn on the job. We treat teachers as though once they graduate and they start teaching, they know everything they need to know. They can't. It's the beginning of a teaching journey.
I remember how bad I was at this 20 years ago. I mean, really bad. And 15 years ago, I mean, the point is, I'm sorry, also I'd taken time cues poorly because I didn't realize the show was ending. Beth Cutler is the Dean of the Montclair State University College of Education and Human Services. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by the PNC Foundation, which receives its principal funding from the PNC Financial Services Group. PNC supports early childhood education through PNC Grow Up Great, a $350 million multi-year initiative that began in 2004 to help prepare children from birth to age 5 for success in school and life. The Russell Berry Foundation. And by PSE&G, committed to improving New Jersey's economy and strengthening its communities. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and northjersey.com. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.